YouTubers, how you guys doing? UnkknownSoldier here, and today I'm bringing you guys a 76 kill gameplay on the map Williamsburg. As you can see right there, in the loadout that I had, in case you guys didn't catch that, I was using Maneuverability, Weapon Pro, and Retriever. If a lot of you guys ask what sensitivity I play on a 70 sensitivity, and it just feels like a happy medium between playing on 100, which I've seen people play on, and it's crazy. Sure, you can turn on people real fast, nobody's gonna catch you off guard shooting you in the back. But the problem is, if you're coming down to it, you're trying to go head on head with somebody, and it comes down to a clutch situation, you're not always going to be the most accurate with 100 sensitivity. You're going to be shaking a little bit, because someone catches you off guard. I mean, unless you can somehow pull that off, then props to you. That's major props. But 70s feels like a really good medium. I can turn on people just as easily, and it's not too slow for me, guys. I don't know. Whatever works for you guys. Like I said, I was using Maneuverability, Weapon Pro, Retriever with this, and people like using Hunter, low profile, proxy alarm, whatever works for you guys the best. There's a lot of different things you can use with a weapon like this. I've found that this is probably my favorite weapon now, easiest weapon in the game to use by far. It doesn't have the same range as the Grendel or the Feline, or not the Feline, just the Grendel, and it doesn't have the stopping power at close range like the Feline does. But overall, it's the best balanced weapon in the game. Shooting medium. It doesn't do that much damage at far range. But it's the easiest weapon to use. So that's that's why I like to use it. But anyways, it's been a while since I've talked about my life in the military, so I'm gonna kind of pick up where I left off. And not necessarily exactly where I left off. I've been dragging on about boot camp for the past few weeks here. So I'm gonna skip forward just a little bit and talk about what happened after that. Where I left off, I was talking about getting yelled at by instructors and all that kind of cool stuff. But I'm gonna skip forward. There was this thing called the obstacle course, and it was a lot of fun. But for me personally, when I was getting sleep deprived, and I wasn't getting enough food. Surprisingly enough, boot camp, not getting enough food. So I didn't have that much energy. For some people it was a blast, but for me it was more of a struggle to get through it. It was a lot of fun. And right after, I can't remember exactly what order it was in, but I think right after the obstacle course, they had this thing called sea burning. And I forget what exactly it's supposed to mean, but it's basically, you get put into a gas chamber, so to speak, and it's kind of like a simulation gas chamber. And you had to put on chem gear, you had to put on a gas mask, and okay, you're already in 110-degree weather in Texas, in San Antonio, and while I was there for that summer, it was the hottest summer on record for Texas ever, and I got to be a part of it, guys. Yeah, I think it was like summer of 2011, and I got to be there for it, which is not the best thing in the world. But okay, putting on chem gear is basically like putting on a snowsuit in the middle of July, and it was horrible. And putting on a gas mask makes it hard to breathe, and your visor is all sweating up, and, all the condensation everywhere, so you can't really see what's going on. But they put you into this gas chamber, and it's supposed to just give you a little taste of what it's like to go through like a chemical attack. But what it's supposed to do, they make you take off your mask, and it's supposed to make you tear up, and it's supposed to clear out all your sinuses. Just if you had like any kind of snot, it just makes everything just run right out of you. And there's this myth that if you had any kind of sickness, if you had a cold, anything like that, it was supposed to just get rid of it. Like I said, it's supposed to make your sinuses just completely drain. But I didn't have anything going into it, guys. But for some reason, right after, I think it was like a few days afterwards, I started getting really sick, and it ended up developing pneumonia, like a fever, and I had a 104-degree fever, and I ended up having that or not just that, but I had pneumonia for a good 2 months after that, and for the remainder of boot camp, following up into my tech school, and I felt like I was about to die, guys, already having that high of a temperature, and then including the fact that, like I said, you're in Texas. And it was just the most miserable time of my life. It really was. There was this thing called Beast Week. A lot of there's a few people on here that are in the military that watch my videos. You guys know what that is. For some people, it was a lot of fun. For me, it was absolute hell. Like I said, I'm sick out of my mind, 104-degree fever, and I'm trying, they have sick call, like if you can go to the doctor and get some medicine for it. But the only problem is, guys, it's not that easy. It's not that simple. You go to sick call, go to a doctor, and not only do they give you medicine, they make you go to a squadron where there is no return. You have to go to this place, and once you go to the squadron, you get stuck there for a while until you quote get better. They think you get better. So I didn't want that to happen to me. So I'm sitting there Beast Week, I'm sucking it up. And basically what Beast Week is, it's a simulation deployment. You get put out kind of in the middle of nowhere, and you have to live in a tent for like a straight week. And it was horrible for me, guys. It really was. I'm sitting out there in the sun building sand barriers with sandbags. I'm not sure if it wasn't during Beast Week, but they make you go to a firing range, stuff like that, and they make you go on simulation rescue missions and whatnot. I forget exactly what it was called, but it was a lot of fun. They had, there's different flags that they have too, not just during Beast Week, but like during boot camp, like a black flag that means that you have to take cover in like the shade or whatnot because it's so hot outside. So we ended up having a lot of black flags, and we ended up having to go to our tents for a while. But it was horrible for me, guys. They had the people that I was living with, because you don't stay with the same people during Beast Week as you do during boot camp. They kind of separate you guys. Well, like I said, it's a simulation deployment, so you're not going to know everybody that you're living with. So they wanted you to get used to that. And the guys that I'm living with, they're kind of looking at me because they can tell something's wrong, but I wasn't saying anything to anybody. I didn't want anybody to kind of rat me out, because if people do that, they encourage you to do that. They want you to tell on each other, but they knew something was up with me, and I kind of told them, I was really sick, but I didn't want to go to sick call, and they understood, because like I said, that they didn't want that to happen to them either, so they felt really bad for me. So basically, during Beast Week, they make you take different shifts at nighttime. They make you go outside and sit outside your tent. You have to kind of watch over your group. And some people got in trouble because they fell asleep, and they took their weapons away, and they completely disassembled them. They scattered their M16s all over the place, and I felt bad for those guys. But luckily for me, the people that I was staying with, they took over my shifts for me. I was really grateful for it. I wouldn't be able to make it through Beast Week without those guys. That was incredible what they did for me. It really was. A lot of camaraderie. Honestly, it really was. And right here, look at me just trying to jump through this window. I don't know what the heck's going on. And then I make it through the second time. But, like I said, so at the very end of Beast Week, the cadres is what they're called, the instructors of Beast Week. They ended up finding out, because I've passed out a few times, and they're wondering why, like what's going on with me. So I had to, there's a few different things that they, that could be wrong. They're thinking I might have been dehydrated. Eventually they ended up finding out though, and they made me go to sick call, and basically I went to the doctor, and he took my temperature, which is what I didn't want him to do, because I knew I was screwed, guys. I really did. And he basically told me straight up. He said, yeah, you're screwed, dude. So I ended up having to go to sick call, or not sick call. I had to end up going to the different squadron, where all the sick people go, and it was the worst few days of my life. I only had to stay there for the weekend. Thank God. I heard rumors of people that got stuck there for literally a year. Like there's one chick, she broke her ankles or something, and she got stuck there for 6 months. And then right before she got released, she broke her knee walking up the stairs. Like, I don't know how you do that, but she ended up having to get stuck there even longer. And she was basically like an instructor almost, because she had been there for so long. She kind of told people what to do. So she kind of ran that place. But it was the worst ever, because basically at this squadron, they make you just sit there and you sleep and you drink orange juice to get better, and Gatorade, and hydrate yourself, and you just lay there and don't do anything. And I was so miserable, guys. It really was. But this game's over here, guys. There's no kill cams. Like I said, I barely got the 70 kills. I wasn't even paying attention to how many kills I got. I really wasn't. But thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.